Hey guys, welcome back to the Fool Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil. Just wanted to talk about Michigan's victory over Northwestern tonight. I think 68-51. And after Michigan got blown out by Penn State, it just made me question a few things. What was Michigan going to do, right? Would they come out and just be flat, kind of see the season's kind of looking over, there's not much to play for? Is the team going to just go into a shell and be all about me, me, me? And I gotta say, I was happy with what I saw. Obviously, getting a win on the road for the first quad one victory on the season. Michigan was 0-8 coming into this game. They got the win tonight, so 1-8 now. But you can only, you know what? You gotta start somewhere. And when you've had such a poor season, it's too bad it's waited till February to get it. But it is what it is. In the first half, it was a really struggle offensively for both teams. Bowie, basically kept Northwestern in the game, hitting 3 threes. He only shoots 28% on the year, but he hit 3 in the first half. But the thing I really want to focus on is really two things in the first half. One, the offensive rebounds. Michigan was just hitting the glass and getting balls all over the place and getting two possessions or even 3 possessions, or shots, I should say, on one possession. Just hitting the glass hard. And part of it was true. Northwestern was playing, I think, their 5th game in 11 days, and they'll play 6 and 14 because they had COVID sickness shut down for a while. So no doubt that plays a part in it. But Michigan was getting those balls, and it's earlier in the year they were just not getting rebounds like that. Northwestern still got 7 offensive rebounds in the first half, but still, Michigan was able to battle there. A second really important part to me in the first half was that the bench actually got some minutes. The offense was meh. Both teams were just playing pretty blah. But Coach Howard went and played the guy from Europe. I can't think his name. Ustaf, I think it is. He got minutes. You had 4 bench players on the court for a significant amount of time, with only Kobe Bukfin being out there. And that's just a huge, huge flip for what Howard normally does. Howard normally just barely plays the bench anything. And there were 4 bench players on the court for several minutes. And during that time, Michigan actually increased their lead. So I think that really played a part. I don't know if Howard had the strategy of this or he just wanted to give those guys more minutes. But I think it was a really smart move, because what it did was it gave because Michigan actually built the lead up, don't get me wrong, right? So the reserves weren't getting destroyed or anything. And 2, it made it so that your starters rested. And then it probably exasperated Northwestern's tiredness even more. So you saw the effects of that in the second half. Michigan was up 26-25 at halftime. Low scoring game. Both teams shooting pretty poorly. But in the second half, after Northwestern got a 4-0 little spurt to start the second half, Michigan goes on an 18-2 run to just put the pedal to the metal. They were getting defensive stops, one and dones. Northwestern was just settling for just single possession, just dribble from one side and take a fadeaway jump shot. So Michigan really was dictating the force of play. Another interesting thing too, which is really sad, Michigan got, I think, at one point back-to-back fast break points, and it was 4 points, right? And ESPN had the stat that over the last 6 games, Michigan had a total of 14 fast break points in those last 6 games. That's how much this Michigan team doesn't get out and doesn't get easy baskets and has to get points through, the half-court offense, and it's a struggle at times. Definitely, Michigan started hitting shots, getting their defensive stops, and the lead, I think, went up to 19 points, something. Maybe it wasn't quite 19, but it got big, right? It was big and kept getting up 15, 17, maybe it did get 19 points. I definitely got to give props to Kobe Bukfin. I really think he is the barometer of the team. He had 20 points in the first game against Northwestern. Tonight he almost had a triple-double. He had his first career double-double. He finished with 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. Just excellent game. And his defense, I know he had the terrible foul against Iowa where he fouled the guy to give the 4-point play, which just I'm sure bugs him and haunts him a little bit. But he's, I think, Michigan's best defender, and he played great. He's the barometer for Michigan. If he plays well, Michigan is going to play well. Hunter Dickinson, he's kind of an anomaly. A lot of times he will just settle for getting the ball out at the, the elbow or the three-point line instead of going in for the position. I also have to say it's partially Coach Howard's offense, right? He wants the high ball screen. Sometimes Howard will sit there and pop a three. Sometimes he'll just take the elbow. He doesn't always want to go down to the blocks. I understand. You get banged and all that, fouled all the time. You don't get many calls down there. I don't. When I played grade school basketball, I didn't like getting fouled either. So I can understand Hunter's point of view in that way. So he finished with 19 points leading, but he only had 3 rebounds. So, but, Michigan was still doing great on the board. T-Will, he had double-digit rebounds, I think, too. He had 7 points in the second half. Totally the star of the game, third star. So I would say Kobe's number 1. Hunter, I would actually put Hunter as third. And I would put Joey Baker, 14 points off the bench was huge. The bench got 17 total. So, it's just great that he got 14 points. Because not much else was on the bench. I know there were some other guys who got some minutes, but, Reed got 2 free throws and Jace Howard got 1 free throw. So, it was great to have Baker get 14 points. Doug McDaniel, only 2 points. He kept going for that little floater thing, sometimes too often. Only hit 1 field goal, but 9 assists. So, you can be pretty happy with 9 assists from your point guard, that's for sure, right? Those floaters and such, and his offense will come as he gets more experience. Overall, Michigan, I love this stat, 21 assists on 24 field goals. What an excellent offensive assist ratio, right? 21 on 24 field goals. 13 of 16 on free throws, and 7 of 20 on three-pointers. Outside of Boo Buie, who I think finished with 16. He was part of 16 of their 21 field goals himself. Outside of Boo Buie, Michigan really shut down everyone. Audige was like their best second option, and he had a terrible night again. Michigan seems to handle him pretty well. He did really bad the first game, and again this game. Jet Howard coming off his ankle again. He shot great versus Penn State. Then ebbed and flowed. Slow night again. 8 points, 4 free throws I think in there. He hit 1 big three-pointer in the second half, just drained a shot. But it's great when you can score and win a game without him doing much. Only 7 turnovers as well on offense. Just a very, very excellent game. You're only as good as your last game. Michigan played a good game. They have to build on it. The optimist in me is thinking, I'll get a win and get the win. Now you're going back home for 3-game homestand. Play Ohio State, who I think is going to lose tonight versus Wisconsin. They're kind of in up and down just like Michigan. If you can get that win at home, you got 2 wins in a row, then you can go for 3 wins in a row and just keep building and building. So the optimist in me says Michigan could do something. The pessimist is like, Michigan has been terribly inconsistent all year. Don't get your hopes up. So it is what it is. Honestly, my brother and I were emailing about the game, and he's like, well, what do you predict the game? And I thought it was going to be one of those games again where Michigan would be in the game and then not seal the game at the end. That's what I thought would happen. But give Michigan credit, give Coach Howard credit. The offense played good. The defense played good. It was just a good effort, and it was so nice to see. It had been so long since you actually saw a complete effort, at least in the second half. You might say the first half was kind of but it's so nice to have the game not be in doubt, right? There was never that Northwestern run where it got under 10 points and you start like, oh, here we go. Michigan got the stops even after they had, I think, 3 or so turnovers in a row. They held on to the lead, double-digit, easy, comfortable win. And that's all you can hope for on the road in the Big Ten. That's great. Those are just some of my foolish thoughts. If you have any thoughts, please put them in the box below. I'll try to respond as I'm able to. Thanks for watching, and until I see you guys next time, as always, go blue.